I think we've all heard this obsession around 10,000 steps that we should be getting every single day. Is that a useful goal? What does the research say, Dr. Patrick?
So I think that we need to replace 10,000 steps a day with 10 breathless minutes a day.
Breathless?
Breathless. And what I mean by that is 10 minutes of vigorous intensity exercise, which means you're breathless. I don't want to throw walking out because walking is better than sitting, right? So what are you comparing it to? Okay, walking is better than being sedentary, not moving. But this 10,000 steps a day originated back in the 1960s from Japan. There was a Japanese group that was trying to sell pedometers. And that's where it came from. It didn't come from science, didn't come from medical research. It came from a Japanese company wanting to sell a pedometer. And it was very catchy. Now, since the 1960s, of course, there's been a lot of research on walking and moving and not being sedentary. So there are health benefits. But let's talk about why I want to replace 10,000 steps with 10 breathless minutes, 10 minutes of vigorous intensity exercise. And why I say breathless is because, it depends on where you're coming from. If you're very, already exercising and very fit, breathless for you might be sprinting. It might be running. If you're someone that doesn't really exercise a lot, maybe you only walk, then breathless for you might just be walking uphill, going up the stairs. So it all depends on our starting point. And that's why I like to say breathless instead of heart rate or, any other definition, because I think we can all relate to if I am at the point where I can only say a few words and then I have to take a breath and then a few words and then I have to take, you can't talk. You certainly can't sing. Breathless would be that, where you're just a couple of words in and then you have to take a breath because you're really working hard. Why is that important and why do I want to replace the 10,000 steps a day? There has been overwhelming research over the years, but even as of most recently, within the last few months, a very brand new study came out. Now, research is done very differently than it was, 20 years ago when we were relying on people's memory and questionnaires. How frequent do you exercise? And they have to think back and remember. Now we can actually measure it. We have these accelerometers on people's wrists where they can measure movement and how fast they're going. And so there was this huge study that was published showing that people that are moving more vigorously, it's exponential in terms of, health benefits versus moderately moving. So that would be where you're not breathless, but you're not able to sing. So that's kind of like you can kind of talk a little bit, but you're still breathy while you're doing it versus the light activity, which is kind of like, just walking around the house maybe. So we know that for every 1 minute of vigorous exercise, you have to do 4 minutes of moderate intensity. That would be brisk walking, for example, to get the same drop in all-cause mortality, dying from cancer, dying from respiratory diseases, dying from cardiovascular disease, right? All non-accidental causes. 4 minutes. If you're going to do light exercise, for every 1 minute of vigorous, you have to do about 53 minutes of light walking, gentle walking around.
Wait, hold on a second. I want to make sure I understand this. Because, first of all, I love the idea of replacing the 10,000 steps because that might take me an hour and a half. And I don't really have that kind of time to walk 5 miles, right? Because it feels like this goal that's very hard to achieve if you're somebody that's working and taking care of people and you've got a very busy life, which most people do. So when you say, Dr. Patrick, okay, look, we really want to look at the research and I want to replace this idea of 10,000 steps with 10 minutes of breathless exercise, which to me, I would love to have you unpack breathless just so that as we're trying to absorb this information, we understand what you mean by that. And I've heard you talk about the talk test. What does that mean?
Right. Yes. So the talk test is really that test of, okay, I'm talking to you right now, right? I'm talking to you and I'm not breathless. I'm not breathing heavy, right? It's easy. I could even sing if I wanted to, right? So the talk test is you can't sing, but when you're talking, you're a little bit breathy. That is, talk test. That is moderate intensity exercise. The talk test means if you can talk a little bit, but you're breathy, that's moderate intensity. That would be like briskly walking. If you are doing vigorous intensity exercise, the breathless type of exercise,
Okay.
this is a little bit more like jogging, running. This is where you are, okay, Mel. So, this is a vigorous intensity because you have to take breaths, quite a few breaths in between words. That would be vigorous intensity exercise. That's the breathless type of exercise I'm talking about.
Got it. Okay, so I'll give an example. So there's a walking loop by my house, and I would say for 3/4 of it, it's 4 miles long. Love to walk it with my girlfriends. Shout out to my Wednesday walking group. 3/4 of it, I'm chatting up a storm. We are catching up. We're sharing details about our family. Dogs are running wild. There is a hill where the entire hill, everybody's silent because nobody can talk because we're going up. I'll catch up with you. And that's the vigorous part.
That is exactly the vigorous type of exercise I'm talking about. That's the breathless moment, the breathless minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 4, however long it takes you to get up that hill.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I just want to make sure I'm tracking because that's the breathless part. But you also talked about moderate. And so would moderate be like, this is kind of a long, hard walk, but I'm still able to talk to
Yes.
you and I feel myself sweating and I'm definitely exerting myself, but I can still carry on a conversation.
That's correct. That
Okay.
would be moderate, where you can still like carry a conversation, but you're kind of like this, you're just
Yes.
like taking a little, it's like you're more breath. Like if you were on the phone, you weren't with someone or if you were recording it and the person listening was listening to it,
Yeah.
they could tell that you were walking, right?
Got it.
Like right now, it's obvious we're not walking, right?
Mhm.
So that would be the moderate intensity.
Okay.
And the vigorous is so much more powerful. So I said for every 1 minute for all-cause mortality reduction, you have to do 53 minutes of light just walking around.
Well, that's the piece I wanted to unpack. So you're basically saying the 1 minute that I am walking up that hill and I can't actually really talk because I'm exerting effort, I'm getting a 53-minute gain in that 1 minute against the other 53 minutes I'm walking the rest of the loop?
No.
Okay.
The other 53 minutes you're walking the loop would be moderate.
Okay.
That's moderate.
Okay.
If you were just walking around your house,
Oh, I see.
that would be more light.
Okay, so this is the thing to understand, that you could clock 10,000 steps a day. It might take you an hour and a half to do it. You could be walking around your house. You could be getting out of the car and walking into the grocery store. You could be walking around the office. You're saying 1 minute walking up a hill is the equivalent to 53 minutes of just kind of walking around.
That's correct.
That's incredible.
It's incredible. And listen, there's more, Mel. Okay, we're just talking about all-cause mortality, okay? Let's talk about cardiovascular-related mortality. I mean, this is the number one cause of death in the United States and many developed countries. For every 1 minute of vigorous intensity exercise, you have to do about 8 minutes of the moderate intensity, and you have to do an hour and a half of the light type of just walking around the house.
All right, so break that down again. So you basically just said walking up the hill breathless 1 minute is the equivalent of 8 minutes of the moderate. So you're still cooking. You're still exercising, but you're
still with your walking group.
Yep.
You're still with your walking group.
And
but
you're catching your breath.
But you have to do 8 times more than you do if you're walking up the hill.
Whoa.
And if you are just walking around the office, walking around the house, doing some chores, you have to do an hour and a half for every 1 minute of that walking up the hill.
You know what's so cool about this? And also, I slightly hate you a little bit, Dr. Patrick, is one of my big excuses for not exercising is I don't have time.
Exactly.
You're basically saying
You do.
yes.
Yes. And not only do you have time, it has to be something that you go, oh my gosh, I have to do this. I have to do this and I can do this, right? There's other outcomes too. Cancer is another one. And this one's really mind-blowing. For every 1 minute of vigorous intensity exercise, you have to do 2.5 hours of that light type of exercise, walking around the office, walking around, your house. So
What does that
for
do?
cancer mortality reduction, dying from cancer, dying from all types of cancer.
So there is also what you're saying, Dr. Patrick, if I'm listening closely, is this isn't just the gains that you get by doing 1 minute of breathless walking up that hill versus the 53 of strolling around the house. It's also that there's something powerful about that 1 minute of walking up the hill and what it does to your immune system, I suspect, or to other aspects of your physiology and biology that have a meaningful impact long term over things like your ability to fight cancer, your longevity, your longer range health outcomes.
That's exactly true. So, what I'm trying to get at is intensity matters. Your body responds more robustly and adapts more robustly to the more intense exercise. The adaptations to your heart, your cardiovascular system, your lungs, your immune system, your brain, everything, the bigger the stress you're putting on it, which happens when you're doing a more intense type of exercise, the better the adaptations are. And so when life happens and you're aging, it's all a stress. Aging itself, every day, we're being stressed. Or we can't see it when we look in the mirror, but it's happening at the cellular level. Your body has adapted to that big burst of stress that it is able to handle all the little types of stress that are happening every day so much more robustly. And so that's the point here, is that why not just do the more intense exercise? And we can talk about, well, I've never done that. How do we get there? And there are definitely ways to do that are very easy.
Okay.
But the point is, you have to understand the powerfulness of it. It's like mind-blowing.